Hello, everyone. Welcome to our University of Houston family and friends. Welcome to our Spring 2025 Auxiliary Services Town Hall. My name is Deb Hubler. I am the Executive Director of Auxiliary Services for UH. For those of you who may not know who we are, Auxiliary Services encompasses snack and beverage vending for our campus, and we also oversee our dining program and the UH campus store. We call ourselves auxiliaries because our operations are revenue generating and self-sustaining. We do not receive funding through tuition dollars or student fees or state tax appropriations, which means that our operations must be fully paid for through the revenues that are generated by our programs. Our auxiliary services team and our business partners, they work really hard to provide you with a delightful campus experience, and we are really happy to communicate with you today what we have planned for this spring semester. We know that many of you use our services a lot during the course of your time here. We have a lot of new things going on, and we're so excited to share with you today. You can ask questions as we go through our presentation by typing them into the Q&A function. We should have a few minutes at the end of our presentation to answer most, if not all of them. We're also going to have our email address up on the last slide. So if you have questions that we're not able to answer during this town hall, or if you have a question about your own personal situation that you would prefer to ask in private, please feel free to email us at that address, which is auxiliaryservices@uh.edu. We're always happy to connect with our customers and answer questions and listen to your feedback. Please be advised that this town hall is being recorded and the recording will be made available for later viewing. The link is going to be up on the front page of our auxiliary services website. So kicking off our town hall is Timothy Jackson, UH Campus Store Market Leader for the University of Houston System. Timothy, take it away.
I hope everybody's having a cougarific day. Happy spring semester. I'm really excited to be here and to talk about some of the exciting things that we're doing in the campus store. First and foremost, I'd like to talk about Sugarland with Love. We went out there in the fall. We had an amazing campus event, and we sold caps and gowns and merchandise. It seemed like everybody there at Sugarland was super appreciative of that event. We do plan on having another one in the spring semester. We're looking towards March. We should have dates available shortly for when we'll be out there again. One of the things that we've been doing in the campus is engaging the community, Cougar Catalyst, Board of Visitors, and many other groups to try to find assortments that we are missing out on. And one of the coolest things that we did, and you can finally put those Crocs in sport mode because we've finally got charms for them, and you can show your Cougar pride on your Crocs, which I think is really cool. This all came out of our engagement with the campus community, and we'd really love to get more information from you guys. What do you think we're missing? What do you think we need? We order thousands of products, and I think we do a really good job of having a nice assortment, but that doesn't mean we have everything. So whatever you can provide us, we are open to hearing it. We've got commencement coming up, which is always a huge important opportunity. Just keep this in mind, even if you're not graduating this semester, these dates typically stay around the same time frame for every spring semester. Grad fair will be March 3rd and 4th. And the last day for you to place your order online for caps and gowns is April 15th. That tiny URL, herf.ly/UH, is at the bottom. And you guys can place your gowns now, and you can receive them in time to take those pictures. Usually ships pretty quickly to get it out to you. Okay, now I talked about all the stuff that we did when working with the campus. This is some stuff that Follett's put together, which I thought was really awesome. Lululemon. Everybody had been asking for it. We finally got it in the store, and we launched it this year. It has quickly become the third largest brand in our store, and we continue to do exceptionally well. I can't give away too much of what's going to be happening with this product launch, but we do have more exciting things happening in the future. So keep coming back to the store and checking it out. I hear there's going to be some new color assortments. Finally, the greatest thing that we ever did at Houston was the Houston Blue launch. Finally, the NFL let us get this product in the store, and we were able to sell tons, and I mean tons, over 200 online orders by 9 a.m. that morning. We've sold $360,000 worth of product to date, and we continue to get more. We just launched the Houston basketball program, and we continue to have new products coming as the months come on. So keep checking back on the Houston Blue as well, because it's not over yet. We keep bringing in new sports programs and new products and if you want to see something in particular, please, as I mentioned before, give us some feedback. We'd love to know what you want to see in the store. And that wraps it up for all of the fun t-shirt stuff that I have. I'm going to pass it over to my awesome partner, Emily, who can go into CTAP.
Thank you, Tim. Hi, UH community. I'm so excited to be here to chat about the Cougar Textbook Access Program and share some updates with you. I wanted to start out with just a few of the amazing stats surrounding the program. So since its launch in fall of 2023, we have served almost 130,000 UH students with the program, saving those 130,000 students just shy of $36 million. I can't even believe I'm saying numbers that large. Over 79%, almost 80% of students are participating in the program, and that number continues to grow year over year. Since fall of 2023, there's also been almost 17,000 sections participating. We've delivered 105,000 physical units to students, 610,000 digital units, and all of those wrap up to 2,532 unique titles that are participating in the program. So some really great statistics to be proud of there, folks. Starting in fall of 2025, we are looking at an increase for the program. There's been some publisher increases and a few other things that we'll get into on the separate slides, but it serves all undergraduates currently. Those undergraduates get their required course materials. We deliver digital first and physical that students get to keep second if a digital version is not available. That new rate for students for the fall and spring of 2025, spring 2026 is $339. That summer pricing is $199. That's still pending board approval and also subject to sales tax coming up here. That is about a $40 increase for the fall and spring and just $19 for the summer term. And we'll dig in just a little bit to like why are those increases. That's what I'm asking. So there's a publisher impact there. So those materials, just as the price of everything is increasing, prices for textbooks are as well. During COVID, we didn't experience an increase from publishers, but they did make up for that. So right now, we are seeing about a 4 to 5%, but we saw about an 8 to 10% average out of publishers there coming out of COVID. Also, it is adopted materials impact those the cost of the program. So additional materials adopted where materials may not have been required before CTAP and materials are now required as part of CTAP, which means we may be getting books in the hands of students easier, but it does come at a cost. Also, the average course retail materials were increased by over 10%. So we have a good number of courses where the cost of the material for that section increased over 10%, which is in excess of that publisher increase. Ebook engagement, there are some ebooks that tend to have lower engagement for a few number of students accessing those, sometimes zero, and we can take a look at those. They may not need to be included in the program. So if we can remove those materials that are not being used, we can continue to help impact the affordability of the program. Low cost or no cost adoptions help drive down the cost of the program as well. And there's also expensive adoptions and perhaps multi-term adoptions. So if it is a 24-month access, but students only need access for 12 months, reducing that to 12 months access can also help reduce the cost of the associated with the program. Then I did want to dig in just a little bit more to those top two. So prior to CTAP and then first year of CTAP. So in that first year, we saw additional materials adopted to 1,582 sections. That impact on the price where we're seeing that $40 increase was just over $4.5 million for those additional 1,500 materials added. And that's just the unit or the the materials, not the units that were delivered. Then in 615 courses, the cost of the material increased by more than 10%. And so from the year before CTAP to the first year of CTAP, that impact on price was just shy of $2 million. So just want to put some ideas around where that increase is coming from so that we can understand students are getting more materials, they are getting additional items, but if any of those are not required, we certainly want to take a look and just be ensure that anything that's included is required and benefiting the students. And then I also had the opportunity to, we had the opportunity to survey students and faculty about the CTAP program. And I wanted to share some of that feedback that we received. So 97% of UH students agreed or strongly agreed that CTAP provided them with a more positive student experience because their materials were included for them. 90% of UH students surveyed shared that participating in CTAP contributed to better performance in their classes. And 79% of UH faculty members said that CTAP was beneficial in planning the course because students had access to their materials on day one. Then we have some really amazing quotes from some University of Houston students. So from y'all, a very good program. I'm grateful I ended up at a school with such a program, especially because I've seen my friends at other universities struggling to get their materials themselves or deal with high textbook costs. CTAP has been a game changer for students at UH. It makes course materials affordable and accessible from day one, helping us focus on learning without financial stress. Thank you for supporting student success. I loved that I had access to my textbooks and I didn't have to stress about finding all the right materials. I was able to get them before classes started and didn't have to get behind on the first day. It also helped me financially as all my textbooks were a must-have for my classes. And then finally, it genuinely did help me a lot with it being accessible and available for me at any time. It also saved me a lot of money when it came to needing to purchase them. I liked it a lot. So just wanted to end there with just some feedback. We are listening, we are surveying to understand how we can continue to improve the program and ensuring that it is a positive impact on students. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Matt. I think he has some CTAP reminders to share.
Thank you, Emily. My name is Matt Ultramari. I'm a director here in Auxiliary Services. I just wanted to remind everyone that we do have several CTAP web pages available to you with information. They include a lot of FAQs to answer some of the questions that you may have. We go into a lot of detail on specific things like opting in and opting out, digital course materials, physical course materials, et cetera. And also a reminder that we do have a couple of different ways that you can contact us regarding questions about CTAP or your course materials themselves. For any general questions regarding the program, opting in or opting out, or anything regarding the fees associated with CTAP, please feel free to contact us at ctapuh@central.uh.edu. And then we do have our Follett partners do offer a Follett support team that is there to answer questions that you may have regarding your course materials or access to those materials. So for those questions, you can email ctap@follett.com. We are constantly monitoring those mailboxes and do make every effort to respond very quickly to you. So please feel free to utilize either of those two touch points, depending on which subject matter it is that you're asking questions about, and we'll make sure we get you an answer. The QR code there on the screen does take you to our CTAP web pages for easy access to that material.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Emily and Timothy. That was great information. I did want to just add also, some people may not be familiar with the adoption terminology. So basically what an adoption is that Emily was talking about that contributed to the increase in the cost for CTAP is think of them like titles of books or the courseware/homework, the digital homework that students are assigned. Those are what we are referring to when we're talking about adoptions. And so I think the major thing that's increasing the price is that there were almost 1,600 titles basically that were not submitted to the campus store before. So when we did the original pricing, which we managed to hold steady for 2 years, though we didn't know about those 1,600 titles. They were either new titles that were added later, or they were titles that were being used by faculty, but the campus store was never informed that they were using those titles, so we didn't know about it. So just wanted to make that clarification. And then also what Timothy was talking about related to the Houston Blue. Red is still the official color. Blue is an athletic color that is being used for certain home games against in-state rivals. But the blue is hugely popular. I'm a fan myself, and there's new stuff coming in all the time. I know that we just got some Jordan brand Houston Blue in recently, and there's more stuff coming in. So if you've been and think that you've seen everything, you haven't. So you need to keep coming to the campus store and checking us out to see what new merchandise that we have coming in. So thank you again for that great presentation. And moving on, we have Denisha Allen. She's our Senior Director of Auxiliary Services for Auxiliary Services, and she is going to talk a little bit about vending.
Hello, everyone. As Deb mentioned, I do oversee our snack and beverage vending programs on campus, and I have some brief but exciting updates to share with you all. So this week on Tuesday, we added the Just Bake machine at the Student Center South. We are truly excited about this. The Just Bake machine is a smart bistro that has the ability to produce warm treats like spicy chicken dumplings, warm cookies, and more. And we do have some options that are currently in the machine, and we're also looking at hosting some upcoming sampling, so we will keep everyone posted on the dates for that. In addition, our department is also working with University IT to implement a vending filter on the UH campus map, and we're also working on an integration for the UH Go app. So coming soon on more information for the campus map filter. Next, we have several promotional events that will take place throughout the remainder of the semester. These are activations and samplings hosted by our Coke student ambassador, as well as our vendor Coca-Cola. Our student ambassadors will host the Backpack Blitz and then also March Madness events. There will be product giveaways for these. And at the Share a Coke activation, please stay tuned to this. We're working on finalizing a location. But one of the cool features about this event is you will have the opportunity to attend and get a Coke bottle with your personal name on it. So please stay tuned to the Auxiliary Services website for more information on that as well. That concludes my vending update.
Thank you, Denisha. Yeah, I'm just, we have Alexis Mendoza from Chartwells. I think she's going to kick off our dining services updates.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Deb and Denisha. We can advance. There we go. Perfect. So we are actually going to pop right into the next slide. And I am beyond excited to announce 3 new leaders on the dining team. So we have our Vice President of Operations, Eric Geiger, who has just recently joined us in the last week or so, as well as a new Senior Executive Chef for the entire system, Benito. And then also our boots on the ground resident district manager, Patrick, who is absolutely not new to the Chartwells team or the higher education platform, but is new to the University of Houston. And he is just fantastic. We're absolutely lucky to have him. And with that, Patrick actually was able to join us today virtually. So I'm going to pass it to Patrick just to say hello.
Hello, everybody. Super excited to be here on campus. Still kind of getting my feet with the lay of the land, but if you ever see me around, stop, say hello. And again, really excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Patrick. And you will see him around. Eric and Benito are getting acclimated and kind of rolling around campus as quick as possible, really trying to support the team. So we're going to have a lot of meet and greets and dine with the directors where you're going to be able to interface with all 3 of these leaders. So excited to have them. If you see their faces and you recognize them around campus, as Patrick mentioned, please do not hesitate to say hello. They're all 3 absolutely wonderful. All right, so we will move on to some new dining hall options and just some exciting happenings throughout the presentation today. Cougar Woods had a refresh. So Cougar Woods really just had a re-energize is what we want to call it. You know, it was already a beloved place. It is the only 24/7 dining hall in the state of Texas on a college campus. So we are just so excited to bring even more energy and even more excitement to an already lovely space. So we are looking at this re-energizing plan in 2 phases. Phase 1 is complete, and we celebrated that right when classes started with a kind of welcome back event that also celebrated some of the new flavors and feelings that we're seeing over at Cougar Woods. So some major changes that you might notice are some graphics on the walls, again, to brighten up and warm up the spaces at the same time. But you'll also see something that I'm extremely excited about, and I know our entire leadership team is, some new flavors really coming in to Cougar Woods. Some of my favorites are Pit Stop and Chow Chow. So Pit Stop is one of my favorites because you can actually see those proteins being smoked, slow smoked in front of Cougar Woods in the smoker. When you drive by or walk by, you can smell the aroma in the air before you even get close to the building. And you can just smell that sweet smokiness that really represents Texas and really a comfort cuisine. So all of that protein is fresh smoked and taken right inside immediately to Pit Stop, the station in Cougar Woods, and it is shared with all of you. So again, such an exciting space. We're so happy. We have lots of new stations. I listed them here for you. And we're really looking forward to seeing what we can do on the menu rotation for all of these. And speaking of Cougar Woods and it being a 24/7 operation, we absolutely know and look at Cougar Woods as a safe haven for all of you because it is a place where you can go anytime, no matter day or night, and you can find other people that are up, that care for you, that are cooking for you. And really, it's just a bright, safe space to spend time with your friends, to network. And so with that, we understand that you might be in there during late night. And so there's a lot of great late night options that we have for you. Those stations are listed on your screen. But some of my favorites, again, we've got Pit Stop. We have omelet served out of the La Mesa station, and Sugar Rush just brings you lots of good baked goods and a lot of really great flavors. So we're so excited to bring a new, fresh approach on the late night options over at Cougar Woods. So switching into the world of retail, lots of exciting things to talk about today, but What to Do Barbecue is now open near TDECU Stadium. So if you've been here a while, we've had a couple of locations in that space, but What to Do is there now. They have great local connections to the Houston area, and we are looking forward to their grand opening event, which will be set sometime for mid-February. So for all of those details, dates, and times, follow us at UH Foodie on all the social media platforms so that you can stay in the know. More exciting retail things. So we have gotten so many questions and I absolutely understand them, but what is going in that McDonald's space that is over at Student Center? And I think that's a great question. So we are still working through that process and really finalizing what brands and what flavors fit well there. But we wanted to give you an update because we know you're hungry for one, pun absolutely intended. But Pizza Hut is a contender to fill the empty Student Center space. And so again, nothing is final, but we want to let you all know that we are working through the process and we are vetting these brands and making sure that we find the absolute best fit for the food profile here on campus. So this was an update just so that you all had a little bit of insight into the process. So looking forward to seeing how everything pans out. Okay, Houston Street Subs. Speaking of Student Center, if you've been in there recently, we celebrated the 10-year anniversary of Student Center, and we were so happy to be a part of that. And at the same time, we also celebrated the opening of Houston Street Subs. So it is an option that replaced, if you were here last semester, Melt Lab. and it's really off to a great start, I think, for a few key reasons. One, you can customize your sandwich more so here at this brand than you could at Melt Lab. And there's just something everyone loves about a customization. You can make it just right and curate it for you. So we have delicious customizable subs over at Houston Street Subs, so you can make it exactly how you like it. We're serving with premium proteins, premium bread options, and just go ahead and stop by and see what the fuss is about. Let us know. Later in the presentation, we'll talk about how you can get a hold of us so you can give us your feedback on all these new updates. All right, we are still rolling with retail updates because there's just so many cool things happening across campus as it relates to the flavors and the cuisines and your experiences. So speaking of you, Paper Lantern has a brand new menu, really determined by our guest and student votes from a tasting towards the end of last semester. So this month, we're celebrating that new menu rotation by highlighting your favorites. So the fan favorites from the new menu. We've already seen 3 really tasty options pull ahead in our numbers. And so we want to highlight those in case you haven't been able to try these items or you haven't been to Paper Lantern and you don't know where to start. We're giving those that have not dined there a little bit of a head start and a guide of maybe where they can begin their culinary journey with Paper Lantern. So the General Tso's chicken, the sweet and sour chicken, and the Bing Bing shrimp are absolutely fan favorites. And if you haven't tried it yet, I suggest you give those a shot. All right, Farmer's Fridge. So we talked about some really cool vending options with Denisha, and Farmer's Fridge is definitely not new to campus, but is now accepting Cougar Cash, which is a brand new feature and one that we hope will bring a lot more engagement with the fridge. So Farmer's Fridge serves fresh, kind of on-demand salads, breakfast cups, yogurt cups, all of that great stuff. So if you're looking for something quick, light, and fresh, this is your place to go. And now it's made even easier because you can use that Cougar Cash on your Cougar card. And then last but not least, on the Farmer's Fridge update, we have a new unit added at Bauer College. So not only can you use Cougar Cash, but you can find more Farmer's Fridges across campus. And then looking ahead, we are in February, but we have so much ahead of us in terms of things that we have not celebrated yet. So last night we had a crumble mix and mingle or a crumble mini mingle. So we actually gave away crumble cookies as an engagement program for anyone who is coming in to Moody Dining Commons to dine with us. So huge hit as usual, gave all of them away pretty quickly and just really had so much fun with the DJ, lots of networking, and we were able to mingle with lots of students who were waiting in line for those crumble cookies. And we got some great feedback from our students about the success of this event. Also, we had a great mix and mingle for all of our first year students. So any freshmen or transfer students that were transferring in and are experiencing their first year on campus got to join us for a little bit of a mix and mingle over in Student Center. And if you miss both of those things, not to worry, there is so much on the calendar. You don't have to memorize this. You can find this on our Dine on Campus website, on any of our social media platforms, and it often goes out in an email across campus as well. That is really it for me. But before I go, the most important thing is that we stay connected with you. So anytime, anywhere, text us, follow us. We're here for you. The really great thing about having such a robust leadership team here to support you is that no matter what time you text us, there should be someone there to engage back with you. So on your screen is the phone number where you can reach us over at Cougar Woods. I highlighted the Cougar Woods number because this is the 24/7 operation. So we always have a leader watching those messages coming in. So if you need us, text us. There's a number specific for Moody and retail as well. So if you don't know those, you can absolutely find them on our social media or shoot a quick message in or email to us and we'll get you all hooked up with all the numbers. But absolutely, whether you text or not, follow us on all the platforms. The handle is at Foodie. You can DM us anytime you need anything. And this will also ensure that you catch all the events, all the specials, and all the fun stuff going on. And before I pass it back to Deb, I wanted to give a couple of Sugarland updates because we absolutely love showing love to Sugarland, just like our bookstore partners. And we are seeing some really cool stuff. So speaking of chat back, we have a dedicated line for UH Sugarland for you all to text into us. So I will put that phone number in the chat so you have it. Very similar to this one, but the last 4 digits are a bit different. So I'll get that over in the chat for anyone who needs it, or we can absolutely send it out to any contacts that are interested. Also, we have a very successful Starbucks pastries program that we recently started in the past couple of semesters, and it has really taken off with a bang. So if you are in Sugarland and you happen to stop by Cougar Corner, don't forget to grab a pastry with your beverage. And then last but not least, we talked a lot about Farmer's Fridge, and we spread that love over to Sugarland as well. So check out the Farmer's Fridge machine over in Brazos Hall at Sugarland. All right, that's it for me. I'll pass it back to you, Deb.
If I could
Well,
interrupt, Alexis, this is Deb. Hi, this is Eric Geiger. I did end up
hello.
making it. Hi.
I
I
saw
just
you. I
wanted,
was going to ask you to come on.
well, you know how it is with technology in a new position on a new campus, just getting things lined up. So, but my phone worked. So here I am. So Teams on a phone, it's a saving grace. Just wanted to say hello to everybody. Eric Geiger, I'm the new VPO on campus. I'm very excited to be here. Please, if you see me around campus, don't hesitate to say hello as I acclimate to the campus and to the surrounding campuses as well. Thank you. Nice to meet everyone.
Thanks, Eric. And a big, big welcome to Eric and to Patrick and Chef Benito. They are very much out there. So, you go to any of our dining locations, I know you're going to eventually run into them. So say hi. I know they want to go out there and meet as many of our customers as they can. And I have to say, wow, we always have a lot of things going on in dining, and that is being proven true again. But we're not stopping. There's more to come. So there's going to be more things happening later on through the year, new things coming in the fall as well. So always something going on. And so Alexis, I see somebody starting to ask questions in the chat. That's wonderful. Hi, Alana. But I do have a question for Alexis. For the paper lantern menu, are those like the General Tso's chicken and whatnot, are those just for this month, or are they permanent parts of the menu now?
Great question. So those are permanent parts of the menu, and the feature is really just to highlight the menu items from the new permanent menu that are performing well, just to give some people a starting point.
Very good. Thank you. And then Alana's question is the Farmer's Fridge at Sugarland site staying for summer and fall 2025. So I don't know, Denisha, is that a question you want to take on?
Yes, sure. I can definitely answer this. There are no plans to move it as of now. However, if anything changes, we will make sure that we can communicate that well in advance for you.
And then Denisha, she also asked if you can share the Sugarland phone number for dining services.
I can put that.
Oh,
Yep.
Alexis, okay. Yeah, great. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right.
I can actually, if anyone who's asking has a pen or paper, I can give it to you now, or if you want to type it down, and then I can also pass it through the chat. But the Sugarland chatback number to reach us is 832-924-8444. And I'll send that through again.
Thank you. And then I want to welcome Cassie Bruner to our Auxiliary Services Town Hall. She's actually, Cougar Card is not part of Auxiliary Services formally, but we consider them extended Ohana because we work with them very closely. They are very good partners to us, and we wanted to invite Cassie, who's the director for the Cougar Card office, to talk a little bit about what they have going on. Cassie?
Yes, thank you so much, Deb. Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be here today. Thank you to my colleagues for inviting me to come and share just a couple of quick important points with all of you that could be relevant to anyone who maybe lives on campus, dines on campus, or shops on campus using the Cougar Card. We've seen an increase in students coming in lately with the points I'm going to share. So I thought it would be a great time to kind of increase the campus community's awareness of these particular things. So first of all, we ask you, please do not share your digital Cougar Card, the QR code that you can find in the UH Go app. We understand that there may be times where you're tempted to share it with your roommate or a friend or a significant other. But we've seen a lot of students who maybe did that and then that person keeps using the QR code and they didn't really want them to keep using it. Um, and they won't stop. So there's not a whole lot that we can do because currently there's no way for us to change that QR code. It's tied to your UHID number, and we don't change your UHID numbers. We are trying to see if we can find a way to do something a bit differently, but at the current time, there's nothing we can do to help you except turn that QR code feature off entirely for your card, which means you wouldn't be able to use your digital Cougar card anymore. Um, and I do want to note that it does go against the Cougar Card terms and conditions that you do agree to when you upload your photo. So just please do not share that QR code with anyone. And then secondly, we've seen a increase this semester in particular, it seems, as folks coming in and their card just stops working and they don't really understand why, but it's turns out it's because they store it maybe in a little wallet on the back of their phone. And oftentimes we see that the phones will demagnetize or mess with the smart chip and stuff inside the card. And that's what causes it to stop working over time. So try not to store your Cougar card on the back of your phone. That way you won't have any issues with getting access to your residence hall or a building or using it for your meal plan or things like that. So just those two quick things. Please do not share your QR code with anyone. It is your personal information. It's tied to your student account. We're working on a fix, but at this time, we don't have anything we can do to help you, fix that problem of somebody misusing your card that you shared with them. And then please don't or try not to store your card on the back of your phone. That way it'll keep working as it should. And that was it. That's all I had to share with y'all today.
Thanks, Cassie. Great information. Okay, well, that brings us to the end of our formal presentation. So now is time for questions. I see that there was one additional question that came into the chat. And yes, some of our friends who were working part-time or full-time from home, we all got that email that everybody needs to come back to campus starting on March 1st. Some of those folks may not be happy about it, but we're happy to have you guys back on campus. But Denisha, there's a question about if there's going to be any dining options returning to Tech Bridge since they'll be getting some additional people back versus what's been there before.
Yes, we are currently looking at potentially expanding the vending footprint. I know for all of us, this is a little new since everyone has not been back in person since pre-COVID. So it'll be helpful for us over the coming weeks and months to understand what the new traffic patterns look like and then help to not just build a vending footprint, but then also to look and see what other options we can add there as well. As mentioned, we just recently added the Just Bake at the Student Center South. That would potentially be an option. At this point, we're just going to explore and hopefully we can get more things added over there to support everyone being back in person.
Thank you, Denisha. And I do not see any further activity in the Q&A. So unless I see something come up while I'm closing, I think we are finished. I wanted to thank our presenters again for their energy and enthusiasm and for doing such a great job with providing these services to our stakeholders. As a reminder, the recording of this presentation is going to be linked on our auxiliary services webpage, and you can also email us anytime with questions at this email address you see here, auxiliaryservices@uh.edu. And with that, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of the week and have a great spring 2025 semester. Thanks, everyone.